Hello everyone. Today I'm going to talk about mind maps as a planning tool in writing for ESL primary school students. So first of all, let's have a look at some terms in the title. As I have mentioned, mind maps are a kind of cognitive strategy which can help us to organize our ideas in our mind. And we also mentioned the planning tool, and I asked you if you also plan ahead before you write. I bet most of us do so. But I really want to know something about the ESL students, like primary school students. Do they also plan ahead before they write? So now we comes to ESL. Look at the picture. Can you find the flags from your country? If so, you might be a ESL English learner. So now you know ESL is short for English as a second language. Finally, we come to the primary school student. I bet all of us know them, but do you know the characteristics of primary school students? They look very naive sometimes, and they always have some creative ideas in their mind, but we don't know when these ideas will come out. So I was wondering if they can plan ahead, if they can they organize their ideas with the help of mind maps? If so, can they be taught to use a mind map to plan writing? So these are some questions I'm interested in. And I also find mind mapping and children's writing has been researched for a long time, and they are very important. First of all, let's have a look at mind maps. Mind maps were created by Tony Buzan in late 1960s, but now they have been used in different fields due to its cognitive and interpretive framework. Martin believes that mind mapping contributes to creative thinking and promotes brainstorming. So see, mind mapping is a really very good cognitive tool to organize our ideas and to enhance our creative thinking. Now let's come to children's writing. Teaching writing among primary school students are especially important because they do not develop their writing skills or learning strategies automatically, and they always have difficulties in writing. Just imagine when we were a child, how do we organize our ideas? Then do we have our own difficulties in writing? I bet we did have some. So it is necessary to start writing skills from primary school students. And now let's move to the literature review. I'm going to introduce 8 articles to you and give you a brief overview of all the literature. Then first of all, I'm going to tell you who will be the best experimental objects for my research, and the answer can be found from the literature. I have mentioned that the upper grade students use the cognitive strategies more frequently and better than their counterparts in the middle grade group. And Limbo, Laus, and Fidego that also emphasize educators should provide the high-level students or high-grade students with high-level writing skills, additional instructions, which can also be very conducive to the students' writing development. From these 2 articles, we can sum up that I'm also going to do some research among the upper grade students and high grade students, which means I'm going to do my experiment on grade 6 students. And secondly, I also want to find out the teaching format I'm going to use in my research. John showed us that English reading and English writing and comprehensive corrective feedback groups exceeded the performance of the control group and the Chinese reading and the English writing groups in the post-test. So I'm going to assume English reading and English writing strategy or this format to teach among primary school students. And let's move to the aspects I'm going to compare with my collected data in the future. Abrahams and Bright discovered that the pre-task activities have a significant positive impact on L2 students' writing, especially in the aspects of the length of the article, the richness of vocabulary and ideas. Fouquet and Othman examined that the most common types of errors are words that translate from native languages, word choices, verb tenses, prepositions, and commas. So from these two articles, which give me the direction, what I need to focus on when I analyze my data. Now let's move to why I use mind map as a strategy to improve students' writing. Wet has applied how mind map in genre-based ESP writing effectively for graduate multilingual writers in order to provoke their prior knowledge. And Zubas, Freud, Meha, and Sue Sidney proposed that the experimental group was teaching model of differentiated science inquiry combined with math achieved the highest score. So from these two articles, you know that mind maps have its unique functions in writing. But I was also wondering if mind maps can function well on primary school students. One of the articles from Nasir Kiss that investigates the effectiveness of two mind mapping methods as a meta learning strategy that stimulates text learning strategies and improves memory for 5th and 6th graders. From this article, we know that if I do some research on primary school students, it can work. But it is just a hypothesis, which waits me to verify. After I've read all these literature reviews, I find that little research has used mind map in writing among primary school students. So that's why I want to use mind maps as a cognitive strategy to help ESL children to improve their planning skills in writing. And I come to my research question. Can mind maps be a really useful or effective tool for ESL students in grade 6 to plan for their English writing? Let's see what will happen in my research. Finally, let's come to the significance of this research. I hope this research can make a contribution to ESL primary school students' writing and the importance of free task in writing and the mind maps applied in ESL writing. So these are the three fields that my research could make a contribution in. And finally, I really want to thank you for your attentive listening.